It's the third line day, and we're in gate 4. And the third line is called Irresponsibility. The third line is about adapting, all to do with adaptation. That's one of its big keynotes. We're getting to the end of the lower trigram. And the third line here is rooted in the wave of bonds made and broken. And it's called Irresponsibility. So if you have this line, stand up and claim it boldly. I am not responsible. Or if you want to do it on a positive way, I am irresponsible. Own it. Why not? The lifetime learning here is the general refusal to apply oneself diligently when one can get by with much less effort. This is a deep facility to be able to come up with answers and to give them to other people. Everybody with the fourth line can come up with answers. Everybody. This is the whole thing about logic. They can all come up with answers, but there's no reward from them unless they can back those answers up somehow, with opinion, with detail, with experimentation. It has to be verified. It's that whole logic process. Answers must be substantiated in order for them to really be of any value. Ra said this is the great gate of making excuses. In the exaltation, where art is more valued than the artist, the potential to enjoy the formulas with no regard to their practical application. It's very aesthetic, which doesn't mean the answer is of any value at all. And it's not about whether the answer is of any value to the collective, not at all, none. This is the appreciation of the answer. This is the answer as art form in a way, it's the wonder of the answer itself. And of course, then what happens, because it's third line, they bang into things and then they end up having to make up an answer because they bang into someone who's like, okay, tell me. But really, they're just interested in collecting answers. This is what it's all about for them. The answers in themselves don't really matter. It doesn't make any difference to them personally. Just collecting answers is something that the fourth line, the fourth gate in the third line does really well. We need to have things explained to us, all of us. There isn't a human being on this planet who doesn't need somebody at some time to explain something to them. And of course, the whole business about logic is that at least when somebody is doing that with you, you have an opportunity to verify what they're saying to you through experimentation. In the detriment, we have the rationalization of irresponsibility as an act of refocalization, the potential to justify such a process in order to maintain it. They need to collect these answers for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It may seem deeply irresponsible to others, but if this is your design, it's a lovely thing to do. Ra had this activation. He said it was a really funny trait. It's just this constant need to collect answers, to know what was going on, to have this kind of, And it's grounded in gate 49, line 3, which is called popular discontent. The third line, making and breaking its bonds, discovering what's working, what's not working, can be seen to be very irresponsible. And that makes other people uncomfortable, of course. The third lines are very resilient, thankfully. They're very adaptable. Popular discontent can be a tool to show them their irresponsibility, perhaps, to show them a way to adapt in order not to be rejected, because gate 49 is a gate of rejection. The moon is still in the sacral gate of power skills, the gate 14, the energy to provide material resources to fuel the correct direction of our vehicles. And it moves into gate 34. At 11:14, this is another powerful sacral gate, the power of the great, the gate of power. Power is only great when its display or use serves the common good. And yet, this is individuality, and it's a gate of empowerment. So it's the common good is empowering everybody else with this power, with this doing what you love. This is something that's really, really, really ingrained into gate 34. The power they have will be released and will be so juicy and delicious if they're doing something that they love. That's what's going to light them up. there are connections to 3 other gates from gate 34. They've got the 57, the 10 and the 20. So it's a complex gate. There's a potential for pouring all of that energy from the 34 into an expression of uniqueness that can lead to self-empowerment. And from here, the moon moves into another sacral gate. This is gate 9 this time at 22:01. And British summertime, of course. Please do make your adjustments depending on where you are in the world. The taming power of the small being details. This is the gate of focus. It's a logical collective gate, which is the mirror to gate 4. Both of them point to pressure centers, both are logical. We have the 9 is pointing at the pressure center of the root, and the 4 is pointing to the pressure center of the head. In gate 9, we have the determination to direct energy and to focus on what is essential for one's own process, and to persevere in putting energy towards all pertinent aspects of any given task or project. And the moon moves into gate 5 at 8:39 tomorrow. And gate 5 is another sacral gate. This is the gate of fixed rhythms. It's the gate of habits, where it's really healthy for you to have habits that are fixed. I mean, it says it all, doesn't it? The fixed rhythm. And it doesn't matter what other people think, because this is about your well-being and it's about your health. So if your habits are healthy for you, doesn't matter what anybody else has got to say about that. This is a very difficult gate to have as a child, when you're not really allowed your own autonomy as to what habits you think are best for you. This is a collective logical gate, so it's in the same circuitry as our gate 4, our sun gate at the moment. Habits are something that are proven and verified to be right. You do it again and you do it again and you do it again. Yeah, this is that gate for the moon, and then that is us for today. So thank you very much, as always, for joining me on this one, and I will see you again tomorrow for a 4th line day. And until then, go gently. Oh, find my off button. Bye-bye.